From the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, we bring you the Gimme 3 podcast. Hello and welcome, cinephiles, cinema lovers, and movie appreciators to the Gimme 3 podcast, the podcast where we normally pick 3 films connected by one theme. I'm Nicholas Ibarra. I'm joined by my brilliant co-host, Bella F. Stratus. Bella, how you doing today?
Doing well. Yeah, I'm so excited for this episode and welcome back. It's nice to have you back on the podcast with me.
Thank you. It's been a wild few weeks, as our listeners know. I've been like in and out, traveling here and there, traveling all over the country for work.
Busy man.
I am a busy man. I work hard. I play hard. I sleep short hours. But I sleep hard, too.
A good combo.
It's a great combo. Yeah, I mean, you had a busy week, too. But both of us had busy weeks. We both attended, two of the storied film festivals in our country. I traveled to Austin, Texas for the annual Austin Film Festival and Writers Conference. For those of you who don't know, Austin Film Festival is the biggest screenwriters conference, not in Texas, not in the country, but in the entire world.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was honored I had 2 screenplays placed in the festival, which was really cool. So I went to schmooze, I went to network and fill my gas tank with inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Bella, tell the folks where you were at this past week.
Yes, I had the pleasure of attending AFI Fest. It was a crazy busy week, going straight from the perks of working at AFI, going straight from work to a movie. I think I had a movie every day starting Wednesday through Sunday, but yeah, it was honestly the best time. Yeah, just to name some that I'm not talking about today, I started the festival with Yorgos Lanthimos' Spugonia, which I was really excited about. I was a big Yorgos fan. And they had a Q&A afterward with the cinematographer, Robbie Ryan, composer, production designer, sound designer, costume designer, makeup artist. It was crazy. It was a huge panel. But it was just such a treat hearing about the entire creative team talk about this experience, especially for such an aesthetically and visually rich film. So that was a lot. That was a great way to kick off the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive into the 3 other spectacular films that I caught at the fest this year.
Yeah, so for today's episode, we're kind of breaking from our normal format of 3 films based on one theme, and we're going to do a format more akin to our bonus episodes. Spoiler-free kind of recaps of some of our favorite moments, favorite films from the respective film festivals that we each attended. Bella, what is your festival experience like at AFI? Because I imagine you're also working somewhat the festival, or?
I got lucky because that's a different department that has to work it, so I really just reaped the benefit.
Oh, so you just got to party hardy.
Yeah. I mean, granted, like there were a lot of movies that I really wanted to see that were, at like 12 o'clock or like 2 p.m.
Right.
It's not going to happen. No excuse. Which maybe if I was working the festival, you get some of those earlier ones. So it's kind of a balance, but yeah, no, I was lucky enough to, party hard.
Awesome. And I went to Austin Film Festival, as I mentioned. I've been to Austin before, been to the film festival before. In fact, it's the film festival that I credit as the place, the moment, the first time I went there, where I went from aspiring screenwriter to just screenwriter. It really shifted my process into a totally different gear. And the conference, every year, it just includes dozens and dozens of panels over 4 days with like esteemed and legendary working screenwriters, producers, managers, literary agents, panels about, there's a bunch of discussions on screenwriting, on the craft, the art form, the state of the industry, shifts in the industry. And they have also, like, in addition to the screenwriting panel, they have an incredible slate of films that screen with them every year as well. So this year, I mean, I met so many awesome people, so many dope writers, filmmakers. I actually, Bella, I met so many cool people that I had to make a spreadsheet of like all the contacts that I made just to make sure I'm following up with the right people and not miss anybody that I wanted to. But
oh, that's awesome.
But they really curate a such an open and welcoming space at AFF, and it's definitely familial. It's a family affair there. Speaking of family affair, it's a family affair here at the Gimme 3 podcast. Bella and Nick discuss AFI Fest and the Austin Film Fest, respectively. It's Gimme 3. Bella, you want to start us off?
Sure, yeah. So the first film I want to talk about is The Plague. It's a preteen psychological thriller that dives into the deeply uncomfortable and sometimes even painful experiences of boyhood. It's the debut feature from writer-director Charlie Polinger. The film follows a socially anxious 12-year-old boy named Ben, who has recently been uprooted from his hometown in Boston to sunny California. He's set to spend the summer at a water polo camp, because summer camp is such a great time when you're the new kid in town.
Right.
It doesn't help that most of the kids have also already been there for weeks and have formed unbreakable bonds. So it's a very intimidating environment to come into, especially at that age. So Ben carefully navigates the social field, immediately noticing this loner kid named Eli, who always wears a swim shirt and is never seen with the other boys who are just all way too cool for school.
Is he Mexican?
No.
Okay. Because all Mexicans...
white kid.
All Mexicans swim with T-shirts. I don't know if you knew that.
I had to double check what I what I was laying down. No, pasty white kid. And so Ben takes his chance to be friends with the rest of the group, joining them at the lunch table. And this is where he meets Jake, the charismatic and smug, sort of Regina George leader of the group. When Eli comes to join the rest of them at the table, the boys jump up, running to the next table, screaming, "Plague! Plague! Plague!" It's very intense. Confused, but not really ready to risk, his possible entry or seat at the table with the cool kids. Ben kind of follows them to the other table, leaving Eli to eat by himself. And, this whole silly little lunch table prank isn't really sitting well with Ben. So he decides to kind of casually bring it up with Jake, and he ends up being quite shocked by Jake's answer on what's going down with the plague. I won't say much more because I think it's a really fun mystery that's worth being discovered going in blind. But with each passing day, this ruthless social hierarchy kind of tightens its grip, and Ben's anxiety spirals while his insecurities, quietly fester beneath the surface. So, yeah, I love a good coming of age film. We both do.
Yeah.
Especially for me, I always love the horrors of girlhood because I relate. I think The Plague is one of, honestly, few films that I've personally watched that explore the darker side of boyhood. And man, it really it confirms that puberty in those middle school years are just absolute hell for everybody. So
they suck.
Yeah, pretty fucking terrible. But yeah, I want to shout out the cast. These kids are phenomenal. They're all like 12, 13 years old. They look like babies.
Right.
But I was really blown away by their maturity, their emotion, and the physicality of their performances, because it's this intense stage of your life. Your body's changing, emotions are running high, and there's this inner rage that has to come out one way or another.
Right.
I think the film really doesn't shy away from the brutality of tween boys, both emotionally and physically. There are some moments of pure rage and destruction, but what I love, and I think this film is worth seeing even more so for is it also digs deeper into like the vulnerability underneath all that rage and aggression, like the true emotional side of a 12-year-old boy who is sad, who's frustrated, and how that can like manifest so differently in each person. And then, it's heightened in this kind of setting that's all about conformity and competition, because you've got like the social structure and the hierarchy, but then also like this water polo is such a smart setting because it's kind of an aggressive and intimate sport, So
And you're like in those tight undies,
you're in the tight undies. You're not just like battling the other guy, but also like battling the water, just trying to stay afloat.
Right.
Which also is such a great contrast. There's a lot of really beautiful underwater cinematography. And the sound design is so incredibly done within those scenes where it truly sounds like being underwater, in a way that's like that. And then when the way they shoot it is also so nostalgic of like I went and saw this with Jonathan, and he was like, wow, that reminded me so much of like how much I hated swim lessons as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's good stuff. It's thrilling. It's surprisingly hilarious. I think it really perfectly captures like the way kids specifically these days talk. So it is a nice balance of thrills and giggles, I would say.
Cool. Sounds like fun. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. If this sounds up your alley, you'll be happy to hear the film was picked up by IFC after its world premiere at Cannes. So I think it'll be coming out late December this year. I think December 24th to be exact, but in the US, and then maybe a wider release by early next year. So check it out. I loved this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of it.
It looks like it also has Joel Edgerton in it. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention. Yes, I love Joel Edgerton, and yeah, he's the water polo summer camp coach. So he's kind of the one adult in the midst of all the chaos that's just like, oh my god, these kids, man. He's great.
I'm intrigued. The first thing that I'm going to talk about from Austin Film Festival, I am going to talk about some films that I saw later in this episode, but I want to start with actually a panel that I saw because frankly, I was in way more panels than I was films. I did not see a lot of movies at the Austin Film Festival this year, but this panel is connected to one film in particular. It was a retrospective panel on one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time, The Wedding Singer. And it was with writer Tim Herlihy, and it was moderated by Barbara Morgan, who's the executive director at AFF. And I just want to shout her out because I've seen her moderate panels and interviews before, and I just think she's one of the top moderators out there, all stop, that I've ever seen. And I go to a lot of screenings and Q&As. But yeah, it just really consisted of Barbara and Tim discussing the origins of The Wedding Singer. They showed clips of certain scenes, key points in the script, and Tim offered a lot of insight of the script development process and how it went from script to screen. For those who haven't seen it, The Wedding Singer came out in 1998, stars Adam Sandler as, you guessed it, a wedding singer. He gets stood up, ironically enough, at the altar of his own wedding. And so downtrodden, he takes a break from wedding gigs, except for helping a new friend plan her wedding, the lovable, sweet as apple pie waitress who works for one of the venues, who's played by Drew Barrymore. And the two hit it off, and because they click so well, and Sandler's such a man of the town, he knows all the deals, he knows all the people, everybody loves him. Drew's character convinces him to help her plan her wedding. And Sandler begrudgingly agrees. And in the planning, he learns A, that he really likes this girl, maybe even loves her. And B, the man that she's about to marry is a gigantic asshole. Great movie. It's hilarious. It has an unforgettable 80s soundtrack. And Sandler and Barrymore just have wonderful chemistry. And it's such great chemistry, in fact, that they said, you know what, we're going to do 2 more romantic comedy films after this. So it was a wonderful panel because they just looked at specific moments of this romantic comedy screenplay and the romantic comedy screenplay structure. The break in act 2, the moment of like realization where the main character knows that he's finally realizes he's in love with the other character. And of course they looked at the meet cute, the infamous meet cute that every rom-com must have, a wonderful meet cute. And they'd play the scenes, which were wonderful. And then Tim would explain how they would adhere to and honor, what works about, say, a meet cute scene historically. And then needing to insert things that not only subverted the genre and the expectation, but also worked for Sandler and his audience. Because although this was a rom-com, they didn't want to like turn their back on the Adam Sandler audience, because the only like the two movies that these two did together before this were Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. So, very different from rom-coms, but so they didn't want to turn their back on the audience. They knew where their bread was buttered. But what was interesting was Tim also talked about how around the midpoint of the script development process, he was actually let go by the studio. The studio fired him and brought in Carrie Fisher to finish the script, who at the time, Carrie Fisher was like the romantic comedy wizard. She was, if there was a problem with a rom-com out there, with a rom-com screenplay, chances are Carrie Fisher was brought in to doctor it up.
Oh, wow.
So she did just that. Tim says basically like, yeah, we owe Carrie a lot because she essentially saved the script, saved the movie. And what she did was, because she knows the structure so well, she finished the film, inserted all of these wonderful structural setups and payoffs and brought it home. However, Sandler fought for Tim to come back in at the end of the process, because while Carrie Fisher did fix like the structure and the story beats, her dialogue, Carrie's dialogue was probably way more sophisticated than their audience was used to or accustomed to. So Sandler and Tim came back in to kind of like take Carrie Fisher's structure and then rework all of the dialogue for their characters and for their audience. So it was just fascinating to hear that whole process, and it was cool to see. I was in there with one romantic comedy screenplay and one coming of age drama screenplay. So it was fun to be in. I kind of like bounced back and forth between like, pitching each and dabbling in panels of each. So I've seen this movie about a bajillion times, but watching it with this panel and breaking it down by the key elements of this screenplay really helped me think about my screenplay and things I want to shift and things that can make it better. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it's so crazy to like hear, have a film like that you've seen a bajillion times and that you love so much, and kind of hear about all its different lives before it got to be what it is that like beat for beat.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea Carrie Fisher was a doctor. I knew she was a great script doctor, but had no idea that she was involved in The Wedding Singer. So that was cool bit of trivia there.
That's awesome.
So The Wedding Singer, my friends, that one is readily available. So check that out if you haven't seen it. It is a wonderful, wonderful film.
All right, my next piece, we're going with a theme of favorites. This one is actually, it came out this year, but it is already, I think it's safe to say it's already an instant favorite for me after just one watch. Bold statement, but it is exactly the kind of film that I live, breathe, and die for. It is one perfect, crazy, beautiful, memorable masterpiece, and it's called Fucktoys.
I've seen like 3 different movies called Fucktoys.
Not any like this.
Oh yeah?
No. Maybe. Maybe maybe a little bit, bits and pieces of all of them. No, it was an experience coming back to work the next week, and everyone's like, "Oh, what was your favorite movie you saw at Fest?" I'm like, "Oh, Fucktoys was amazing." So the film is written, directed, and stars Annapurna Sriram, a New York City-based actress turned writer and now director, and she's absolutely killing it. Fucktoys is set in a sort of alternate reality, a world that is just close enough to ours to feel familiar, but not quite the same. You know, something's just off here and there. Annapurna plays AP, our leading lady, or our Alice, in a way, in this hilarious, horny, and sometimes even scary Wonderland-ish realm. AP is a sex worker in this candy-colored city called Trash Town, USA. It gives you an idea of what you're in for. Things haven't been going very well for AP lately, and things only get weirder when a psychic tells her that someone has placed a curse on her. And the only way to lift it? A baby lamb blood sacrifice and $1,000. Desperate, AP sets off on her moped to try to make enough money to pay the psychic to relieve her of this terrible curse. Along the way, in true Wonderland fashion, AP runs into all sorts of bizarre, unforgettable characters, some new, some from her past. It's surreal, it's chaotic, it's so fucking funny. It is nasty, disgusting, trashy, fun. And I was just completely in it, bewitched from beginning to end. It's hard. Like, I don't want to say too much more about the plot because I do think it's one of those films that's kind of best experienced as a sort of surprise, I guess.
Yeah. The tone is kind of like extreme, like camp.
Yes, yeah, like she's very inspired by John Waters.
Okay, great, cool, got it.
Loves also inspired by like After Hours, the movie.
Sure.
So if you love kind of like a surreal, I don't know, it's not really like picaresque-ish, you know, movies with the sort of it's like, you know, the innocent character either lost or on a mission or maybe both at the same time in a strange world with strange people and all the actions like happening within a certain amount of time. I would compare it to like films like Up the Sandbox, which we talked about on here, which is also a new favorite of mine.
Totally, the Barbra Streisand flick.
Barbra Streisand, yeah. Or even like, I don't know, even I would compare it to like Cleo from 5 to 7 a little bit, but like if John Waters made it.
Wow. Oh, wow. What a statement.
Yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat. I've never really, I personally haven't seen anything like it. And I just fell in love with it. It's impossible to pick like a favorite element. Like the costumes are brilliant. There's one particularly genius costume change moment to look forward to. Hair and makeup stunning. Production design so eccentric, so dreamy. There's like this, I won't say it actually. You'll just have to watch it. But it's also shot beautifully by Corey Freeman Law on Super 16mm film. And the editor, Lily Wild, I also have to shout out because, God, just incredible work. Really just strung all of this together in such a fantastic way. And then also I have to shout out Annapurna, the writer, director, and star. She's just electric and wrote, and even her performance as well. It's one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. Like burst out laughing, infectious giggling, kind of funny. It's a movie that you never want it to end, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I cannot give this movie enough praise, and sadly, I don't think it's been picked up for distribution just yet, but I'm praying it does soon so everyone gets the chance to watch this movie, but we'll see, to be determined.
I'm looking up right now. The poster is tremendous. It's like a throwback to 1970s exploitation films. So I'm in.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think you'd really enjoy it, Nick. Like this movie's up your alley, I think.
Cool. Well, it's called Fucktoys, for God's sakes. How could it not be?
Right?
Amazing. All right. I'm going to seek it. I'll find a way. I will find a way to check out Fucktoys. If not, I'll just go through my old VHS tapes and find that other movie I have buried called Fucktoys. Okay, the next picture, or the first picture, I suppose I'm going to talk about is called Forelock. I mean, well, here's the thing. This year, Austin Film Festival, it really had a banger lineup. You know, they had Hamnet by Chloe Zhao. They had the new Knives Out film by Ryan Johnson played. Christie, starring Sydney Sweeney, was there. The new Park Chan-wook movie was there. So many others.
Oh, wow.
I saw none of those films. As I mentioned, I was really focused on the panels and the parties and the mixers. And I knew I'd be able to catch those films in LA, you know?
Yeah.
That's the good thing about living in Los Angeles. But what I may not be able to catch on the big screen are some of the more independent films. And as an independent filmmaker, I want to support the smaller films. So yeah, I was happy to catch this really lovable one, Forelock, written and directed and starring, once again, just like your picture, Caleb Alexander Smith. And also stars the great David Krumholtz, who is hilarious in this film. And the film follows Caden, who's played by Caleb Alexander Smith. And he's like a very naive but lovable fitness enthusiast. And he's got dreams of becoming a personal trainer. And he has just moved to Los Angeles after the passing of his mother. And through a series of unfortunate events, he finds himself as a Superman impersonator on Hollywood Boulevard. And it's here on the wild scene of Hollywood Boulevard where he crosses paths with a seasoned, connected, and desperate street grifter, Randy. And this is David Krumholtz. Randy kind of uses Caden for a grift there, grift here. They kind of become like a odd couple duo, but like one doesn't know that he's being used, you know?
Yeah.
And this gruesome twosome, they find themselves getting deeper and deeper into a hole with the wrong people and at the wrong time. And I don't want to give too much else away because it's very plot heavy. It's very funny, but I'll stop right there with the plot description. It's a fun picture. Caleb Alexander Smith and David Krumholtz, they are awesome together. It's a wonderful fish out of water performance from Caleb Alexander Smith. Great odd couple duo. Wonderful attention to detail choices by both actors. And it's a movie that I felt really builds really, really well. It picks up steam to a really fantastic and satisfying finish. So yeah, I had a really good time with it. And I just want to shout out that the entire team making an actual independent film in Los Angeles, which is basically the hardest thing to accomplish in the 2020s, is to make an independent film in the city of Los Angeles because there's so much red tape. It's so expensive to shoot here. I mean, anybody who knows anything about the film industry knows what we're going through right now. There's all this stay in LA push, which I'm helping and supporting, but things have to change in this city. But they shot at so many iconic LA locations in this. So for lovers of LA, it's a wonderful time capsule for that as well. So I really respect not only the work on screen, but just their dedication to shooting it in Los Angeles, in the city where it takes place.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
So yeah, I don't know if it has gotten distribution yet. Let me actually look real quick. Yeah, I don't think it has distribution just yet, but once again, I have faith that it will. And once it does, we'll shout it out on our social media.
Yeah.
But follow David Krumholtz. I think Forelock has an Instagram page, so you can follow their social and stay up to date as well. But Austin was its world premiere. That was pretty cool.
That's so exciting. And how do I, just for my, I guess I can just look this up, but is it like Forelock?
Yeah, it's spelled Forelock. One word. So it's like a forelock is like the little curl of hair that, say, Superman has, which I often
Oh.
have as well sometimes.
Oh, okay. Okay, Superman.
more like Fat Elvis.
Oh my god, you're insane. I'm gonna end with Kristen Stewart's debut feature film,
Wow.
The Chronology of Water, based on
Sounds
Lydia
long.
Yeah. Oh, it was. It's based on Lydia Yuknovich's memoir of the same name. And okay, I'll preface this with the fact that I am a huge Kristen Stewart fan.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie may not be for everyone, but it really worked for me. And it also helped that she was there. And I was completely fangirling, of course, like the idiot. It was so embarrassing. I was like, I need to get my shit together. This is a normal human being.
Were you crying?
No. Just inside, internally, I was very composed, Nick, but internally I was ashamed for how excited I was about a normal person.
Right.
But yeah, she was there, and Imogen Poots and Thora Birch star in it, which is so fun to see Thora Birch on screen again. And so they had kind of like a talk back with Kristen Stewart after, and Thora Birch as well, which was just wonderful to hear, about Kristen Stewart's experience directing for a feature for the first time. And then, it's a bold film, a bold screenplay. So it was fun to also hear how Thora Birch, took on this character. But anyways, I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I feel about this one. But all I can say is it really got under my skin, in a way that was a lot of the time very unpleasant, but was also just so real and raw in its portrayal of like the beauty and the horror of this life that we all live, and specifically in this film, like life as a woman. Mm-hmm. So Imogen Poots stars as Lydia Yuknovich. The film follows Lydia through all these different phases of her life, starting from childhood into adulthood, spanning like 3 or 4 decades, I think. And it shows us both like the horrific and beautiful moments of her upbringing. We see her strained relationship with her older sister, played by Thora Birch, her love for writing, the freedom of college, struggles with addiction, complex relationships, sexuality, sex, love, it covers so much. Kristen Stewart takes Lydia's kind of, I haven't read the book personally, but it's there's kind of like a voiceover at times throughout sprinkled throughout the film of direct quotes, and it's very confessional and personal memoir, and she really takes that and adapts it for the screen in this kind of like atmospheric but also very realistic lens of like sensory memory, I guess. Okay. So it can be really disorienting to watch at times, and even like overstimulating, because it's just like, the visuals, editing, and sound design all work together to create something that really truly like looks, sounds, and feels like a memory. It's really bizarre.
Sounds like Terrence Malick-y kind of.
Oh, it totally seems like inspired.
Yeah.
By that style, for sure. I thought it was very effective. The film, it deals with trauma, and it's certainly a heavy watch, but it also captures the resilience and brilliance of this artistic woman who's just like pushing through everything that life throws at her. And she doesn't always do it with grace or dignity. Like, she makes mistakes. She's super messy. She's human, but like, I think that's what made it such a powerful and even like life-affirming watch. Imogen Poots is just fucking amazing. I haven't really seen a lot of her work, but I thought she gave such an extraordinary and layered performance, and she's depicting all these different stages and age, but also just phases of Lydia's life. And you really feel the weight of every choice and every change. I think it's one of the best, or at least one of my favorite performances that I've seen this year. 'Cause it's just, again, got under my skin. Like I can't stop thinking about it. And I love when I watch a movie that I just like can't get out of my head. Like it just like haunts me for days on end afterwards. So the Chronology of Water it's one of those films for me. I'm still processing it, but I can't help but be impressed with it. So yeah, I think it's going to be in theaters this December.
Cool.
So you can check it out. And I'd be really curious to hear what you think. It was a very divisive film among people I talked to after watching it at work. But so that's why I would love to hear what everyone's thoughts are on it. Maybe I was just riding the high of the whole experience, but it worked for me. I thought it was really, really beautiful, even though it was also really painful.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it premiered at Cannes, it looks like, or Cannes, depending on what kind of drugs you're on. Yeah, I'm interested to check it out. I had no idea that this was coming out. So that Kristen Stewart had a directorial debut hitting the big screen. So I am also a fan. So I would be happy to support her work.
Yeah. I think it's the beginning of some more exciting films in her style. So we'll see.
All right, my final film that I'm going to talk about is actually a short film, and it's called Little Dinners.
Oh, I love that name.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we did a lot of networking. We did a lot of parties, mixers. We'll call them mixers. How about that? That sounds better. But there was one mixer in particular that was really cool. It was like a Texas barbecue that was held at Troublemaker Studios, which is Robert Rodriguez's studio. And like he's got an incredible backlot on there with like this wonderful downtown, like classic Mexican backlot that looks, I think they shot Machete there, maybe Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Wow.
It looks rad. But at this Texas barbecue, I met a lovely filmmaker couple, Hannelore Berlin. Beautiful name. Her family is from Maui. Wonderful writer, actor, producer, which we've been talking a lot about those today. And Peter Bussian, I hope I got his name right because I'm going to send this to him. He is a writer and director of this film in particular. Really rad duo who were having their world premiere of their short film, Little Dinners, here at the Austin Film Festival. And I met Hannelore's parents, who were also just lovely, traveled in from Maui. And so we had a grand old time with these folk. And the next day, their movie was playing. So my friend Emily and I were like, you know what? We should go support these filmmakers, support this film. And we did. And we loved it. It was their first film ever. It was their directorial, producerial debuts. They killed it. They did it small, intimate, shot it in their apartment. It looked tremendous. Hannelore is hypnotic and hilarious. And like, she's got it, I could, she's one of the, you watch an actor's like, all right, great. I'd like to see her in the next thing. I would have liked to see more of this movie. As a short film, I was like, keep going. But it's really about a young woman who moves into an apartment and she's living by herself for the first time. So it's a day in the life of her moving into this new apartment and what that looks like, both the freedom, the joy, the fun, and also the things that aren't so great about it also. And it also happens to be New Year's Eve. So all that's happening, and it is all leading up to her making a wonderful dinner for herself. So I had a great time with it. And it was a really nice reminder. I got a lot of nice reminders on this trip to the Austin Film Festival, but this was a nice reminder that, yes, you can garner inspiration and insight from like well-established writers, producers. You can take lessons from all of them, but you can also garner inspiration and take lessons from young artists who are just doing it for the first time and who are just breaking into their artistic form, because sometimes you will find that their stories are perhaps even more inspiring because they're doing it, you know, totally from gut instinct and gut artistic instinct. So
yeah,
just wanted to shout out my new friends and their short film, littledinners.film on Instagram, to stay up to date with the movie. Let me make sure that's the right Instagram. It is littledinners.film on Instagram. It is going to be playing at a film fest near you at some time soon, I am sure. So stay up to date on their IG, or you can reach out to me because I'm homies with them now. So
I love it. Oh my God, I'm definitely, follow and looking out for that one. I love that. I love that concept.
That's it.
That's a wrap. That's it. Wow. Look at that. We went through 6 movies.
Yeah.
Panel galore. So much, like you were talking about, inspiration. On so many different levels with so many different people. And I think, you know, support your local film festivals, indie movies. There's just something about being surrounded by so many creatives and film appreciators, cinephiles, that's what we call them, here on the podcast. It's just such a valuable experience in so many ways. And yeah, it's so I think this was so amazing. It was so funny that we both happened to get to have these festival experiences in the same weekend.
Yeah. Totally cool.
So hopefully we can do another episode like this again. And yeah, we'll link everyone that we mentioned, their Instagram, all of that, so you guys can follow release and any kind of screenings near you for them. You guys can follow us on Instagram at Gimme3Podcast. That's GIMME, spell out 3 podcast. While you're there, in some very exciting news, we're officially on the countdown to our 100th episode. You know, we're planning something extra fun, extra special. Spoiler alert, all the movies are going to be chosen by you. So stay tuned on our Instagram on our Instagram story to vote for those 3 films to celebrate our 100th episode. If you're loving the show and you want to show even more support, you guys can follow us on your favorite podcast platform. You can set our episodes to auto download. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, subscribe to our Patreon. It's just $5 a month. You get bonus content, and it just, helps us keep going. Nick, do you want to tell the lovely listeners where they can find you on the socials?
You can find me on Letterboxd, on Instagram, or on Blue Sky at Nicholas Ibarra. Ibarra is spelled with a Y.
All right, and you guys can find me on Instagram at Portrait of a Cinephile or on Letterboxd at BFStratus. Thanks again for joining us on the Gimme 3 podcast, and we'll see you at the movies.